Hi everyone, Rob Kajiwara here. Today I wanted to talk about one of the big misconceptions about Okinawa. There's a lot of people out there who think that Okinawa's economy is dependent on the military, specifically the US military. The truth is, it's the opposite. That's right, Okinawa's economy is not dependent on the military. Actually, the military is a huge economic burden on Okinawa. The military makes up only around 5% of Okinawa's economy, but it takes up over 15% of the land and over 30% of the arable land or best lands. So actually, the military is running at a huge economic deficit in Okinawa. It's a significant burden on the Okinawan people. Shortly after the end of World War II, the military played a much more significant role in Okinawa's economy because during the Battle of Okinawa, Okinawa was devastated. Almost everything in Okinawa was destroyed. Almost all of the buildings, the farms, the animals, almost everything was destroyed. So immediately following the war, yes, the military played a huge role in the economy, but I don't think they should deserve credit. I don't think they deserve credit for that because, I mean, they destroyed Okinawa. They don't deserve credit for a problem that they caused. But anyway, nowadays though, it's just not true. Okinawa's economy is just not dependent on the military. Like I said, it's actually a huge economic burden for Okinawa. Could you imagine if in New York City or LA or Chicago or whatever city you live in, could you imagine for a moment if 15% of your city and 30% of the best parts of your city were occupied by a foreign military, occupied by force by a foreign military? Could you imagine that for a moment? Could you imagine if the heart of New York City, Manhattan, were 30% occupied by the Chinese military or the Russian military or any foreign military against the will of the people of New York City? Americans would be furious. Americans would be calling for an immediate removal of the troops. Um, and yet, America is totally okay with creating this burden on the Okinawan people. Most of the Okinawan people don't want this heavy military presence. Most are calling for a significant reduction in the amount of U.S. military in Okinawa. In particular, we're calling for a stop to the construction of the new military base at Henoko, and we are calling for an immediate closure of Futenma Air Base. Futenma has been called by the U.S. military as the most dangerous base in the world because of its location in the heart of a major Okinawan city. They're having accidents there all the time, endangering the lives of the Okinawan people. So those are the two things we're calling for right away is stop to the construction at the base at Henoko and a closure of Futenma Air Base. And really, though, we need a significant reduction in the amount of military presence in Okinawa. This is right. It's the right thing to do. This is justice. Okay, the military is really a huge burden on the Okinawan people. So things need to change. You know who else is being heavily burdened by the U.S. military? Is Americans, American taxpayers. Americans are having their tax dollars just drained by the amount of unnecessary overseas military bases that America maintains. Um, these bases are really not necessary for defense or security purposes. They're there due to some old and very outdated and very misguided conceptions of defense, dating back from the Cold War, dating back from the end of World War II. This idea that America needed to contain communism, and in order to do that, they had to deploy all these forward bases overseas. One, the Cold War is long over. Two, I would argue that those bases were never necessary to begin with. America should really focus on itself. It should focus on democracy, not on military, not on containing other countries, not on interfering in the affairs of other countries. America should really focus on its own issues. America has so many issues of its own that it needs to address. So I believe that America should start closing its overseas bases immediately, and instead use that money in other ways that actually benefit the American people. That's what I think. Anyway, if you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more of our videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.